Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So 39-year-old Marine veteran and California resident David Ticas took his 16-year-old daughter with him to D.C. According to the prosecutor, the pair, quote, scaled a metal bike rack barricade that was to reach the Capitol grounds. And Ticas was heard on video saying, quote, let's go in for a tour and come out. So he and his daughter were seen on surveillance video. They entered the Capitol. They were walking around. While inside, Ticas also posted a photo of himself on Instagram. He was giving a thumbs up and he wrote, quote, storm the Capitol, hashtag stop the steal, hashtag Democrats are criminals. Democrats are criminals. If only these people understood irony. Anyway, investigators found videos on Ticas' phone, one in which he filmed a line of officers and he was yelling at them. He was heard in the video screaming, quote, look at these fucking pussies, motherfuckers. That shit don't scare us, motherfuckers. He was apparently referring to like tear gas and stuff. Father of the year right here, folks. And Ticas also recorded himself walking up to the officers and he asked them where Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi were. When an officer shook his head, Ticas said, quote, you have no idea? Are they using the tunnels? And then the officer said, quote, they're not here. And Ticas replied, quote, not here? Y'all snuck away through the tunnels. Ticas later recorded people climbing through a broken window. And he said, woo, the fucking shit's wild. Damn, vandalizing shit. Let's go. And then when Ticas and his daughter were exiting the Capitol, he was heard on video again yelling at officers, quote, you guys are on the wrong fucking side. You wouldn't be doing this, fucking crooks. And he yelled at one officer, quote, don't fucking touch me. So that night, Ticas texted two friends and he wrote, quote, we stormed the fucking Capitol building. In other texts on January 7th, Ticas wrote, quote, if I disrupted the vote, good. As far as looting and vandalizing, we did not do that. Fuck these corrupt politicians. And he also wrote, quote, we'll see what happens. I could care less if the Capitol building went up in flames. Serves only the interest of globalist and anti-American clowns. And then the following day, Ticas shared a screenshot of an Instagram community guidelines violation he received, and he captioned it, quote, I guess only the clowns of BLM and Antifa can post their peaceful protests. Yeah, I mean, with a name like Ticas, you wouldn't think he'd be on the side of white supremacists, but there you go. And apparently he's a Q conspiracy theorist because in another Instagram private message, Ticas said, quote, was there to have my voice heard. These politicians are straight up criminals. There is a reason for this non-pandemic to continue. It's the NWO trying to get rid of Trump. So NWO, if you didn't know, stands for New World Order, and it has to do with QAnon. It has to do with all kinds of conspiracy theories that are just ridiculous. So Ticas continued to send incriminating text messages. He continued to show no remorse. And on April 29th of last year, he wrote, quote, I'm a fucking domestic terrorist, AKA patriot. I don't give a fuck. But when Ticas was interviewed by the FBI, he kind of did give a fuck. He downplayed his actions, and then he told them he didn't do anything illegal, and the police let him in. That was a direct quote. So Ticas was arrested on September 22nd of 2021. He was charged with the common misdemeanors, entering restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading in a Capitol. Ticas pleaded guilty to the parading charge in April of this year, and he was facing up to 6 months in jail, 5 years of probation, and $5,000 in fines. For once, the government asked for more than Netflix and chill. In the sentencing memo, the prosecutor requested 3 months in jail, 36 months of probation, 60 hours of community service, and a $500 restitution fee. The judge in this case was John Bates. He is a Republican. He was appointed by George W. Bush in 2001. To my knowledge, this is his first January 6th case that he's presided over. I'm already disgusted with this guy, with his weakness. And if this is any indication, he's just going to piss me off. So I couldn't locate any information about what took place in court, but Bates ended up sentencing Ticas to only 14 days in jail, 24 months of probation, 60 hours of community service, and a $500 restitution fee. So pretty pathetic, considering what a bad example this sets for his daughter, right? She's probably 18 by now, or maybe very close to it. And she witnessed her father being verbally aggressive with officers, committing federal crimes. And now she sees he got little more than a slap on the wrist. So those are the lessons that she's going to take into the world as an adult. This is pathetic. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. When and if I hear more, I'll let you know. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.